thinking,
But
emotions,
not with your mind.
Nothing with mind.
They know.
They're just every moment they're there. Every moment is empty. Although, and they play the role of I called it often Maya. Maya means illusion, and Mabati means mother. He was my mother. I called him Maya. He's like you're playing the fool. You're playing like a clown. You're playing in this world, but you're completely aware of whatever I think. Why are you doing this drama? Why are you not showing yourself? And then he said, no, it has to come gradually, slowly, slowly. You can't impose everything on that. It doesn't. Everybody has to go through his own karmas, his own situation, and slowly evolve. We all do. So we face our difficulties every day. Every day our difficulties from this life or past lives, they are reflected on it. And slowly by experiencing it, watching it, introspecting it, you can slowly dissolve all the pains of all your lifetimes and all your we call it vasanas, impressions of many lifetimes. So something what is pushed in, impressions, what is pushed in, has to come out again. So this is how karma works. So something has happened, it made a dent, and it has to undent. Yeah. So that can only come through an experience. With the grace of the master, with the grace of the saints, and the grace of the divine, it can go very fast. It can really rapidly go through all your karmas. So that's why a guru or a master or a saint, especially a guru, is important in life. A guru is not always a form. A guru is also a path, a way, a focus. If you have a focus, it's much easier to go ahead. What we miss in this world, actually, is to have a purpose. The purpose is every day to live our empty little lives, but we forget there is a purpose. So what is the main purpose? Somebody has a question, has an idea about what is the purpose in life. What's the doel van het leven?
So experience.
Experience. Finally, to realize that you are not only this body, that you are the divine yourself. That's the main purpose. So if you keep this purpose high, everything will be focused on that. And then sub-purposes can be put into it. Having a new car, having a new job. That's all sub-purposes. But it's never the end purpose. The end purpose is always to understand, who am I? What the hell am I doing here in this world? Why have I come here? What is the main reason for being born? But we forget that. You think about it. Last time we spoke a little bit about it. I hope it will slowly sink into the consciousness that you are not only this frame, you're much more than that. Because this frame is all the time changing, and we keep it as our main truth. And we blame our frame. We blame our mind, we blame our frame, we don't like the frame. There's always something that works with us. It's too colorful, it's too white, it's too tall, it's too fat. There's always something about the physical frame. But if you keep them in mind that there is a higher purpose in life, you keep on focusing on that. You go beyond all the.
What if you never find out? Is your life then useless?
That's why we have come about 64,000 times. It's time now to realize. Now is the time, especially in this time, to go through deeply, search, find, question, ask yourself. Don't believe anybody. Find it, but you can believe somebody, of course, but question it. Be like a Sherlock Holmes. Go deep, search for the truth. And once it becomes your experience, then you will slowly grasp to it, and more experience, and more experience, and more, and then slowly grow. But your soul has been ready already for this. I often tell Carla, I'm very impatient. I want to have it today. But it takes some time. It takes really some time. But you don't see the evolvement you already made as a soul. For instance, there are so many ignorant beings on this world, like animals or trees or but they don't know who they are. And finally, you came to having a human birth. This is quite something. And you take many, many births of a lifetime, and you fight wars, and you all do nonsense. And you gain more money and lose everything, and you go up and down life after life. And then finally, you understand. You come to the Netherlands. You live in the Netherlands, and then you see all this bullshit around, and you think, what is this? These people are still not happy. They have everything. They're still not happy. That's your blessing. And next blessing. All the time, more blessing. Then understanding of, but who am I? And more blessing. So it's topping up. So slowly you're getting there. Gain for it in this life. Go for it, and it will happen in this life. That you'll understand the truth. And what is the truth? I saw in my Swami, I saw in his eyes that the truth for me is only love. To really love everybody. To have no judgment about anybody or anything. To just expand. I don't know what is enlightenment. They call it, saints speak about enlightenment. I haven't experienced it. But I experienced love. I really experienced expanding love. That it became so ecstatic that I didn't want to think about anything else. I experienced it. So that's my only goal in life. I want that. I don't care even if I have to come back another time. As long as I get that experience. I don't know. I forget anyway. Whenever you get born, your hard disk is being wiped, so you start all over. But this world is a lot of experiences. You experience pain and you experience pleasure. You go up and down, up and down, up and down. And once you are understanding that that it doesn't affect you anymore, the up and down, then you slowly get closer to your goal, main purpose of life. Who am I? You become more the divine. And I saw many, many of great saints who have achieved it. So they said, yeah, it's possible. I questioned them again. I checked them out, see. I watched their eyes. And I always watch people in their eyes and see what is in their eyes. Always look at people. When you see great saints, check their eyes. And you will know. Because you don't know, but you
How
can
do
feel
you
it.
know? You feel it then in your heart.
You feel it. You feel it in your heart. There's some truth. Then comes the next step. Question. Be like the Sherlock Holmes. And question everything they say. And then put it into practice. Because if you don't put anything into practice, nothing will happen. You put it into practice and see how it works for you. If it works for you, you continue. If it doesn't work for you, you let it. You discard it off. There are many, many roads to the same goal. But there's only one road which is applicable to you. There's your road. So it's a combination of many, many paths. To come back to your question, how did this great saints come here? So I told you that you don't search for the guru. The guru will find you if the desire is strong. When our Swami passed away, these two great saints, they came to this temple. I never asked them to. They came. So it becomes like a magnet. You attract. Whatever you want, you attract. If you're very low, you attract lowness. If you're a bit high, you attract highness. It's like you're a magnet. You're the center of the world. Whatever you want, you can attract. So if you really say, I only want to have money, you probably attract them. Maybe not in this life, but in the next life, because you decide you so much. But if you want to have a main purpose in life, if you want to have the divine, you will definitely look at it one way or the other. Maybe not today, but it will come. Oh, ik denk, ik zie je niet meer. Hidden in the back. Next question, because you had already. Is this the guy?
Would you like to go first?
No, I wait
Oh,
for
you waiting.
the guy that was leaving.
The next one was about when you do your ceremony.
the colors that you use, or what, are those symbolic of something? I think there was white, yellow, and red. It was black. What do those colors represent? What is that symbolic of when you're putting it over the
Lingam.
lingam?
What exactly are you doing?
Yes, what are you doing?
What I'm
This is
doing.
symbolic
I
of that.
Wonder what I'm doing.
Yeah, the lingam is a symbolic form for the divine as consciousness, which is very hard to grasp. It's the form and the formless in one. It's like a powerhouse. And I explained last week, it was like if you have an atomic factory, how do you call it?
Nuclear power plant.
Nuclear power. They have the same shape because it can contain all the energies. It's a very strong form to contain energies. The lingam has very important frequency, and that comes out during this ritual. And the stone has been prana pratishta has done to this lingam. Prana pratishta means prana is life energy, and pratishta means it's been settled by divine breath. My Swami did the prana pratishta of this lingam, so it has powers. So for us, it became an entity. It's like not only a stone, it became an entity. It has a frequency. So we honor it as an entity. And actually what we do is we ask the divine to make us whole again, to make us understand. So the pouring of the water is like a cleansing. And it's a cleansing of our mind, our thoughts, and it's also the water gets the frequency of the lingam and the mantras and you. Then we pour it over with milk. And milk is pure, is white. It's yeah. The cow in India is a holy animal, and they call it Kauri. The mother is the divine mother, and it has significance of being without any expectation. The mother is open to everybody, and milk is also for purity, for sacrifice. And the cow sacrifices his life energy for all the people. Then the yellow stuff is kurkuma, used in the kitchen probably. And it says it's the male aspect, and the red is the kumkum, which the ladies put on the third eye. That's the female aspect. And the last one is vibhuti, is ashes, is holy ashes that I put on your head. And it says everything is temporary. Everything goes. Everything is here for the time being, and it goes. Nothing is. So the whole ritual is actually based on you as a being. Becoming whole means make a balance between your male and female energies to understand that you are temporary, that this body is temporary, and that you may become pure and white as the water and the lingam. And then finally, that you may become like yourself. That's actually in gross the meaning of this ritual. Ja, de vraag.
Nou ja, ik vroeg me wel af, wat was jouw verlangen dan?
She asked, what is my desire? What was my desire to go for this path? First of all, everybody has in their life difficulties. Nobody is exclusive. And when the difficulties are big, I know. There's more when the difficulties are big, you often wonder, why me? Why is this for? And that is also like a reset. So the difficulties in your life are actually the main changing moments in your life. So when you look back, even if in your 40s, when you look back at your 30s and your 20s and your 10s, you remember the difficult moments. because that was a life changer. That really did something to you. So it has a function. Difficulties have a function. They have a real function. For me, difficulty in my life, and that had to do with a relationship that didn't go on, and I couldn't understand it. If you give everything to somebody, your whole heart, your whole system, and then the other person, for the time being, is very happy with that. And then suddenly it's over. And I couldn't imagine what I couldn't believe. I was young, and I wanted. So probably I tried another one. Same thing happened. So then I said, I'm fed up with this. It's a lot of stuff. I'm really, I can marry, and this will happen again, it will happen again. Is there something like permanent love? Everything is so futile. It's just the moment. One moment you love each other, next moment you fight each other. It's like that. The whole world is like that. But is there something like permanent love? This became my search. So then I said, well, screw it. I don't want any relationship anymore. I become a monk. And I will search as long as I find the real love. So this is how my search started. And of course, it didn't work like that to be alone. Because especially in this world, it's good to experience everything. And thank God I have a wife where I can really experience love now. She can at least take this full load of mine. she knows how to go about it. Not everybody can handle that. And so that's actually the main topic how I came to. So I needed a difficulty, and for me it was a trauma. And a trauma led me from one hand to another one, and then finally started searching for permanency. Did I find permanency? I experienced it. But it was not permanent, because it was also a moment. When I was with my master, I really had moments, actually 2 days of complete bliss, extreme bliss. Then after 2 days, it passed, just went off slowly. And I panicked and I ran to him and I said, "Sorry, it's going away. You have to let it stay. I can't live without this anymore." And he said, No. Kannaiah, there is no shortcut to experience. You will have to go through. In other words, experience is important. Everybody has to experience things. There is no shortcut. You can't make it shorter than it is. You have to go through. You have to face your karmas. You have to face your dramas. And like everybody else is going through. So it doesn't stop. So enlightenment, as they say, people who are enlightened, they still have to suffer the same difficulties that we have. They are still in the same world. They still go through it. The only thing is, they don't attach much value to the ups and downs. I still do. That's a difference. We're all going up and down. We're all waving on the sea. And we're fighting the waves. And the great masters, they are sailing the waves. And just playing on us. And we're fighting, we want to go through the waves. We don't want to go over the waves. No, we want to go through it. One great article once wrote, "Be like a log of wood which is being tossed by the waves, instead of trying to go through the waves." So this is how it is. So we're all the same. We're in the same boat. And sometimes we get seasick. Sometimes we're extremely happy, like in India. He just came from India. He had a wonderful experience. And then he came back home and now he's seasick. We often feel that. Once you had a beautiful experience, you want to continue that. It doesn't work like that. After the big festival meal, the dishes comes. You have to wash the dishes. You have to clean it up. but we don't like it. You have one more question?
The symbol of the water when you look around, is that just a blessing with the water?
We call it deelt. Deelt means the water is now sanctified. It has the frequency of everything. Everything is in it. So you get the water. That's why you also get the water along with you when you go. So whenever you go to, especially when, of course, I speak about India because a lot of ritual we do is from India. And when you go to temples in India, you get always tirtha from the everyday rituals. They all perform rituals. We call it abhishekam. It can be a statue, it can be a lingam, it can be a small statue, it can be a huge statue, and it's been poured over with water and all these mantras and chanting. That water has the frequency of the statue, so you get the water, and this water has the frequency. And what is the frequency? The frequency has it's unique. For every statue, it has a different frequency. So for us, this lingam has the frequency of healing powers, mental, physical, and spiritual. And this small lingam, which is the most powerful thing we have in this temple, is for illuminating the intellect, so that your intellect may open up, so that you understand who am I, that you start going beyond mind. And intellect is beyond the mind. It's like you can reason what is truth, what is untruth. That's made illumined, made brighten up. So I give you everybody a little bit of water. You drink it. So in the temple, and the rest, of course, you bring along in a bottle. Pour it out. Zip it up. Yeah. Like a small biscuit. Every day a little bit. And then after 1 week, you can bring the bottle back on whenever you feel like.
Did Dolph measure the frequency with his equipment, right?
Yes. So a friend of ours, he's very sensitive in frequencies, and he's a scientist. He does a lot of research on water, and he's quite a guy in the world. And he can. For instance, when we go to the Himalayas, I brought some water for him, and he could sense the tremendous energy which is there because it's not polluted. The water which we have here is completely polluted by all kinds of pesticides and 5G and all this nonsense which we have. So he can really measure the water before the mantra and after a mantra, and it has a huge level of water, level of energy after a mantra. So it really works like that for him. And he knows exactly where to find all the frequencies in such a minutious manner that he can even make water into medicines. So this is how he does it. Yeah, so he helps a lot of people all around the world by giving them water, and we think, oh, we need a pill because we are used to having a pill. We want only tablet, but he can put the same frequency into it, so he can give you the same benefit, but without harm. Because if you take a chemical tablet, it gives you a lot of harm. It really harms your system.
Ik heb nog een vraag, meneer. Kan jij misschien uitleggen wat de koe voor betekenis heeft in het geloven van het boeddhisme?
The cool is nothing. There's nothing. The cool.
Yeah.
Well, Radha's asked, what is the meaning of the cow? And well, this is cool. Bull is this is not a cow. This is the little. The bull is actually every saint, every god in the Hinduism has an animal where he's riding on. For instance, Ganesha has a small rat. And Ganesha is a big fat fellow, and it has a rat. But there's always a significance around it. Shiva is the dissolver of the world. So he has Nandi uh, as his an idea. I don't know the English word for it. Vehicles, and we call Shiva also as this. This is also Shiva, but Shiva comes as a. You probably have seen the Nataraja dancing Shiva one time now. Shiva actually means it's silence. It's the essence of life. So, so Radha's asking why is it that the cow or the animal? It's mainly because the cow is we call it as the mother. She's like a mom, like a mother. You can't kill the mother. That's why the cows have to be very careful for the mother. And in Indian standard, the cow is grazing in all kinds of dirty places, like plastic eating or whatever, and it still recycles everything, and beautiful milk comes out. So whatever it takes, milk will come out. So it purifies. It's like it's harmless, and it's like a symbol of dedication, symbol of zoek een beetje naar de Engelse woorden. Toewijding, dienstbaarheid. Dienstbaarheid. Service. So service to everybody. It doesn't really discard anybody. So whoever takes the milk, it doesn't matter. And it's grazing everywhere. But nowadays, the cow is not being used in a proper way. What we do in the West is we separate the calf from the cow. It's like the mother taking the baby away from the mother, which is quite harmful actually, because it's crying. We don't know, but it's crying for his mom. But we separate him from birth. It's really not very good. Plus, we use the cow now as a milking factory, and so the milk is not as pure as it should have been. And in the olden days, a cow was grazing. For instance, we had a farmer called Boer Bakker hier op het dorp. Boer Bakkertje, weet je nog wel, denk ik?
Ja, toen woonde ik hier nog niet.
Woonde je nog niet?
Nee.
Daar waar je de verkaveling in gaat. Daar was een boerderij. There used to be a farmhouse here, and it was a local farm. And he had 10 cows or whatever. And we used to go there and get our milk. So that milk is from this local area. So the people in the area, all kinds of herbs and grasses are growing in the area where the people are living. So you probably noticed that all kinds of grasses are good for health. And when the people have certain diseases, properly around them, something is growing, which is helping them. So the cow is eating that, and that is being made into milk. So that milk is very wholesome in the area. Nowadays you put everything in one milking machine, and we add some water. So the whole real meaning about the milk is gone. So if you have a small cow shed with some 1 or 2 cows in your neighborhood, that would be great. And then the milk has much more power for you, and will give benefit also. Probably will taste better also. Boer Bakker, dus jij kent de Boer Bakker.
Ik heb er wel van gehoord.
Dus wij vroeger Maandagavond.
Okay.
Op het dorp. Yeah. I remember my mom even making Kannaiah. Yeah, butter. She made butter out of this milk. And then you have 2 things. You have butter and you have buttermilk. It's separate.
Zeven over even weekend.
Ja.
Prober af.
Ja. Nog iemand een vraag? De laatste vraag? Iemand durft niet natuurlijk. Ask question. Today.
I can save it for next time if you want. It's not, yeah, it's
What?
just about it. It's about the mantra that you sing. I'd like to just know, like in a very short synopsis, what is it? Because I almost recognize some of it. It sounds like there's a little bit of Gayatri in there. It sounds like there's a little bit of Ganesha in there. It sounds like I'm hearing little bits. I love mantras. And I'm sounding like I'm hearing little bits and bobs coming through.
You're very right.
So is it all the mantras all like together, what you're singing? Or is it kind of like...
No, you always start with the Ganesha mantra, right? That's the main thing. So you probably listen to it. Always Ganesha is the first. Ganesha is the removal of obstacles. So that's the first. Then comes Devi. Devi is the mother. Their mother always comes. Devi is first of Ganesha, Devi, and then comes the complete introduction about what I'm going to sing. Then Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Then it starts with a long verse of chanting, and that's actually in two main frames. So one of them is the Namaha, the Namakam. We call it the Namakam, and the other one is the Chamakam. The Namakam names, the names of the divine, as we say, the names of the divine in all kinds of forms. So it's like an offering to God in all his forms everywhere. I pray, I respect you in all your forms. Namaha, Namaha, Namo, Namaha, Namo, Namaha, Namo, Namaha. Then the second part is actually the inner part. It means that everything is inside of you. The divine is completely inside of you. May it come to blossom. Chame means it's in me. It's here. May it come to blossom. That's the whole syllabus. And the main chanting is for Lord Shiva. May you dissolve my ignorance. May all my ignorance go away, that I can understand the truth. So, but you're right. You heard some certain mantras which are quite famous. The Ganesha mantra is famous, and then the Mahamrityunjaya mantra is very famous, and I sang it 3 times. You probably heard something like that. You can hear many, many times on YouTube. It's a very powerful mantra also. So mantra has really a frequency. Every mantra has their own frequency. It has to do with something. It's very interesting to find out which is suiting to you. So if you go to YouTube and you put mantra,
I listen to DB Premal.
yeah.
Most of her mantras was Ganesh is one of my. I work a lot with Ganesh, and I work a lot with Lakshmi. They are my 2 favorite. Oh, she loved them, and I've worked for many years with them. So that's your name, Devantri as well. The Sri Devantri Namaha, the healer, the god, the doctor of the gods. Yeah.
Actually, it's for prosperity.
Yeah.
For physical, financial, joy.
Yeah.
Great. That's Lakshmi. And Ganesha is very important for you, for everybody to remove the obstacles, because you will face definitely obstacles in your life. So Ganesha is a good mantra.
Mental health. Ganesha is for the mental health.
Almost mental health as well. Yeah. And there's a simple mantra: Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye. Yeah, you can hear it also in many songs.
Yeah. It's been quite popular now, and it's been westernized a lot there. So I found, you know what I mean, with the yoga songs that comes up a lot.
Yeah. And the most powerful is Shiva.
Yeah.
Shiva is the most powerful because it dissolves. So the mantra Om Namah Shivaya is we call it Maha Mantra, the great mantra. It's the best mantra to dissolve all the difficulties. So before going to bed, when you lie down in your bed, just chant Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya 9 times. Enough. Then you sleep, have a sound sleep. If you can't sleep, try it. 9 times. Om Namah Shivaya. And when you wake up in the morning, Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. 11 times. Then you wake up in the day. Yeah, right. All right. Om Namah Shivaya. Start with that one. Yeah. Right? You can do it 100 times. And then you definitely fall asleep. Oké, en de volgende keer weer denk ik. Dank jullie wel.
Dankjewel. Ja, soms. Ja, zie.